Okay, so everything I'm about to say, if you feel like I'm crazy, feel free to feel like that's how you should feel. Sleep paralysis. You're asleep and you wake up. You can look around, but you can't move your body. It's pretty much started about 4 years ago. I started working overnights at my current job. I was so used to the day shift. And when night came, I would want to go to sleep, but I would force myself not to go to sleep. This is when it started happening. I'll just be laying there and I would just tell myself, do not go to sleep. Keep your eyes open. I would literally feel my body go to sleep, but I'd still be awake. I just can't move. You can't even move your head. You can't do nothing. All you can do is look around. That's it. I eventually got to the point where I would learn to just wiggle myself out of it. And mind you, it's dark. One specific time when it happened, I felt myself about to go to sleep and the light was on. Usually the light's always off. I fell into sleep paralysis. In my body, I couldn't move. So then I proceed to wiggle myself out of the sleep paralysis. So I'm wiggling, right? I looked down. I saw my arm moving out of my arm. My arm was moving pretty much accordingly to every movement that I was making. I was able to see the dresser through my hand. So I'm looking at my hand moving out of my hand. I know that sounds so weird for me to say that, but just bear with me. So I was pretty much aware that I could leave the body. But the reason I didn't get up was because half the time when the sleep paralysis would happen, I would always feel like something was in the room with me, so I would never do it. Fuck that shit. So as I'm doing that, I looked down at my chest and I really didn't notice it at first. I seen this light coming from my body. The only way I can describe the light, it was like the same color as a diamond and it was pulsing. There was a line pulsing out of it. Like about every 3 seconds, like boom, it would disappear. Boom, disappear. It came out to like here and it was just all around my body and it was like shimmering and these lines pulsing through it, almost like a heartbeat. Mind you, at this point, I've never seen a shadow figure. Usually when I'd feel like something was in the room with me, eventually it'd get to the point where I would lay there just terrified. For whatever reason, I would just be terrified and I would never look around. I ain't trying to see nothing crazy. So I'm asleep one night, right? I wake up. I felt like something was in the room with me. So I said to myself, I should just go ahead and wiggle myself back to movement before I feel this terrified feeling again. Even though I wouldn't see anything, I would just feel terrified. The terrified feeling would just hit me out of nowhere. It was almost like it wasn't me. So next thing I know, it hit me. My heart just beating fast, terrified. So I got curious. And I'm laying down, like face up. But I wasn't looking up. I looked down towards my chest. And so I see this black, like, I swear, I promise on everything, I'm just keeping it all the way 100. I seen this black, smoggy, misty stuff hovering over me. It had to be like 2 inches off of my body. It wasn't touching me, but it was laying on top of me. I seen like little stuff floating around in it. So mind you, I'm not looking completely in it. I'm just kind of looking at the edge of it. So at this point, I knew exactly what it was. It was one of these shadow figures. I couldn't hear it. Apparently they can talk to you, but for whatever reason, I can't hear them. I can see them and I can feel them, but I can feel them more than I can see them. So this thing is laying on top of me. So I'm like, okay. There was a couple things that I heard people say that they thought of. Usually what people do, they think about something else to take their mind off of it, and that feeling, that terrified feeling will go away. I thought of like a box or something crazy like a box, and it actually worked for like a couple seconds. And the fact that I'm like trying not to think about what was happening made me think about it more. The feeling went away for like a good 4 seconds, and then it hit me hard, just boom. Like the terrified feeling was even harder than before. And so I'm like, okay. So everybody's saying that to get this thing off of them is to call out to Jesus. I became curious, right? So I'm like, okay. So I said, Jesus. And nothing happened. So I'm just laying here and this thing is literally on top of me and I can't do nothing. I can't move. I can't do nothing. So next thing I know, I got mad. Even though I was in sleep paralysis, I don't know how I did this. I started lifting my arm up towards the shadow thing, right? Because there was nothing else I could do. I had to be lifting my arm up like literally that slow. It was almost to the point where I wanted to fight it. I'm getting mad and I'm raising my hand towards it like, get off of me, bro. Next thing I know, it gets off of me. I don't know where it went. I don't know if it just kind of got up and was kind of standing there waiting to see what I was going to do. So I kind of fell back. So I'm like, okay, let me wiggle back the movement before this thing gets back on top of me. I wake up, right? Or I started moving. The crazy thing about it was the fact that I really did not wake up. I just started moving. That thing was really in the room with me. So after that, I never seen a shadow person again. Up until a month ago, pretty much January 1st, as New Year's Eve was happening. I went to sleep, but I kept the TV on I'm on my side and I'm looking at the TV. So I fall asleep and I'm laying there. I wake up. So I look at the TV, I see something standing there. I just literally just standing there looking at me. I'm like, what you doing? So mind you, I'm in sleep paralysis, so I probably didn't say nothing. I just felt like I said something. Midway through saying that sentence, what are you doing? I realized that this is not who I think it is. This is one of these shadow things. I seen the whole body. The light from the TV was kind of shining on it. So I was able to see the full figure. It was real short. I didn't see the face. I really only looked at it for like a split second before I looked away. Its head was like kind of like, the top of the head was like slanted to the side. And it was kind of jagged. I knew it was short because I was able to see the top of the TV over his head. But I'm taller than the TV. But mind you, I'm laying down, so I still had to like look up at it. Once I realized what it was, once I realized that it wasn't who I thought it was, I got kind of startled. And the second this thing seen that I got startled, it walked at me. It just started walking towards me. As soon as I seen it start walking towards me, I like looked away. I tried to wiggle to get up. So I get up, and as soon as I started moving, it was gone. As soon as I started moving, I literally stayed in the same spot. I did not move because I'm not scared of them. And I felt the terrified feeling, but I'm literally not scared. I feel like it doesn't come from me. It's them doing it. It was standing right there in front of the TV looking dead at me as if it was waiting for me to wake up. Honestly how I feel about these things are annoying, really. But yeah, sleep paralysis.